Neyens and Jared Perkins, a Prospects Live podcast for everything MLB Draft related. Join us as we discuss the biggest stories from college and high school baseball, bring you interviews from your favorite draft prospects and college coaches, and break down live looks with Prospects Live analysis across the nation. Get ready, because you're on a clock with Tyler Jennings and Jared Perkins.
All righty, welcome to another episode of On the Clock, the Prospects Live MLB Draft and Amateur Baseball podcast. On the Clock's presented by Jaw Bats. Jaw Bats provides the highest quality action maple, handcrafted, fully custom bats, apparel, accessories, and more. Click the link below and enter the code OTC10 at checkout to get a discount on your first purchase. All right, we're here with another incredible guest. We got Xavier Neyens joining us on the show out of Mount Vernon, Washington. Xavier, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, man. We're really excited to have you on the show. We've been following your career for a little bit now. But just for the people who don't know you, take us a little bit through your journey through amateur baseball, kind of how you've gotten to where you are today.
Yeah, so I grew up playing, Cal Ripken baseball since I was younger, played through 9U, 10U, and then 11U is kind of when I started playing like a little bit more travel ball. I went and played for a team up north called Cascade Crush. So we had Canadians on our team and everything. Then we'd go to Arizona a couple times, have a couple travel tournaments. And then around COVID time, I got in with Trotsky when I was around 13. And that's when I really started to hit the national circuit. Went to PG, national, the fall tournament in Arizona. And then we started hitting most of the tournaments in Arizona, like UBC in California when it came out, 14U. And yeah, so I've kind of been with Trotsky ever since up until now. And I'm about to go play my last tournament with them in Jupiter here in couple weeks, hopefully.
That's awesome. Yeah, you talked about some of those experiences that you've gotten throughout that journey. We caught you at the high school home run derby. We were out there covering it for Prospects Live. Take us kind of into that experience, right? Kind of being around those future game players, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was sitting at school about a month before it, and it was June, early June, maybe end of May, and I got the email that I got invited, and I was like, dude, this is sick, because it was in Seattle last year, right?
Yeah.
And I went and watched it last year because T-Mobile was just an hour drive for me. So I went and watched it. I was like, well, that'll be awesome. So, got back to them, told them I'd do it, and got invited. Next thing you know, I'm on a plane to Texas, and, they pick us up in their nice car. You get to the hotel. We sit at Lowe's right across the street from the stadium, and it was amazing. It's only a couple years old. And we walk in the lobby, and you see just a bunch of Hall of Famers. You're like, dude, Griffey's standing right there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Got a picture with him. You got to hang out that whole weekend. Got to hang out with the future player game, or the future game players, and all the All-Star guys. So it was super, super cool.
That's awesome, man. I love that. You also got to do the recent prep baseball tournament down in Miami. I think you had a peak exit velo 110.6. What were some of the things that you kind of got out of that and really kind of helped develop your game to the next level?
Yeah. So when I go to those things, it's if you perform, it's a plus. If you don't, then just kind of go there, have fun. Having fun's super important to me, because most of these guys that I play with during the summer, I only get to see them for 2.5 months pretty much, right? So just going there, hanging out with my friends, having fun, having good having good fielding reps, having good batting practice reps. It's all important too, but just having fun with my friends.
I love it. I know Tyler caught you at USA's. I'm sure he has some questions to that. So Tyler, I'll turn over to you.
Yeah, do you know if that ball is still rolling down 540 that you hit 440 and silenced the whole stadium?
Yeah, I don't know. That was a nice swing.
It was. But kind of just talk to me about that USA experience. Obviously hit that home run that, like I said, you could hear a pin drop from across the stadium from how quiet it got after that. But you also did endure your struggles. So kind of just bouncing back from those and moving on to the next at bat. What was that like for you to kind of just adjust and keep on moving through the entire tournament?
Yes, for sure. So, first AB, go out there, 3-1 fastball, homer. And at that point, I'm pretty high on myself. I'm like we're going to get rolling. We're going to get rolling. And then, after that, I struggled for a few ABs. It happens. USA was a pretty small sample size, I'd say. It had 11 at-bats. And, in the big leagues, you're getting 11 at-bats in, 4 games maybe. Because I talked to my buddy. I'm like, yeah, Austin Shenton plays for the Rays. He's my go-to. He's my bigger brother. I'm like, yeah, kind of struggled this week. I'm like, well, what's struggling? I'm like, well, struggled through about 10 at bats. He's like, dude, that's nothing. That's a tiny sample size. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So he's just bounce back. You'll be fine or whatever. So, Yeah, that was a good experience, and it was a good like learning curve as well, because up until that point I never really struggled that much throughout summer baseball. It's always been pretty successful, so I thought it was pretty good for me to go through struggles like that.
100% agree, because that really shows for me, like just as a scout, like instead of watching a guy get down on himself and just continue to struggle, it's like let's see how they bounce back, and I think he did a pretty good job of that. So it's always awesome to see. What other spotlights for the summer for you were there? I know there was WWBA. I know you hit a couple bombs before getting to USA and a few other places. So just tell me about the rest of the summer as a whole.
Yeah, so started off summer in Arizona for the USA's and Arizona team championships. We our Trotsky likes to stay on the West Coast for the most part, just because flying back from East Coast, because we would have had to go from East Coast to West Coast back to East Coast for WWBA, so kind of would have been a travel hassle. But we went to Arizona, played in the USA's, won that tournament. Hit well there, hit a home run, first home run of the summer. And then we went to UBC, and we missed our first game in UBC because we were in the championship at Arizona. So then Coach Abe just ended up having like me and Slater. We just hung out, just rested like for a game. And then we had to face Seth. So we lost BPA, but then we went to UBC, did that. And then like right after that, hopped on a plane to Georgia and got going in WWBA. We made a pretty deep run. We lost to Canes in the semifinals, but like playing with those guys it's awesome. It's the best ball players from the West Coast pretty much. So playing with them, it's really cool. And then I got to go home for about 3 days after Georgia, and then right back to Arizona for the national showcase. And that was awesome too. I had a good swing at my last at bat as well. I went opposite field homer, and that was like, for me, that was like swing of the summer. Like I had like the pull side one, my next at bat, like a week later, 2 weeks later. But for me, that was definitely my highlight. Big, like home run at Big League Park. Can't get any better than that. So then did that, got to go home for about a week, like pretty much the longest I was home for during the summer. And then went out to Texas, had a good time at the home run derby. It was a lot of fun, talking to a lot of guys, learning from a lot of guys as well. And then out to USA trials, and then did USA trials, didn't make it, so I got to go home for a couple more weeks, and then went off for like my final kind of summer ball run, which was area codes and the MLB in San Diego, and then PG All-American game.
Yeah, I do want to ask though, because you mentioned Seth Hernandez facing him. What's that like? Is that like a traumatizing experience, considering how good of a pitcher he is, or is that like a like you're confident you can get a hit off him kind of at bat?
Yeah, I would say it's always a good battle between us, because my first time facing him was like 15U summer, and this is before he was like ranked or anything, right? Like he was just like, we're playing BPA, and it's like, okay, we got this guy on the mound, and he was holding like 90, 91 through six innings, whatever. We're like, okay, this guy's the real deal. And then you fast forward to summer, and he's throwing 95, and it's still the same guy. And then fast forward another summer, he's touching 100. But I don't know. I hit off him. I probably have 7 or 8 at bats off him. You could maybe give me a hit if the killer didn't take an error, I guess. But it's always good at bat. He's interesting because he throws 100, but it's not like he's going to come at you with multiple fastballs in a row. Like he'll spin one in there, 96 or whatever, and then he'll be like, now he's going to drop in a curveball or a changeup. So it's a really tough at bat, but he's a really, really good arm.
Undoubtedly. Jared, you got any more questions?
Yeah, no. So for me, I like to focus on kind of the human side of things too, because there's such a human element into the game that's a huge game of failure, right? There's a lot of mental aspects to it as well. For you, what are some of the passions that you have away from the game that really help you kind of reset, take your mind off of the good performances, the bad performances, and those kind of things?
Yeah, for sure. So up until this past winter, I've been playing basketball like my entire life pretty much. So I've been freshman year, played basketball. I was on JV though. And then sophomore year, and then last year I've started on varsity. And, like those months I don't really hit that much. Like I'll hit like once a week maybe, right? You're just kind of giving your body a rest and kind of keeping your mind off things, because like our team's pretty competitive. So we practice a lot and stuff, and it takes quite a toll on your body. But played a lot of basketball, which is a lot of fun. I had like a little streak where I'd like build a lot of Legos. Like I'd get Lego sets and like
Nice.
they're like the bigger ones, so it'd take me a while to build them. I do that. This past summer, my girlfriend lives by Lake Stevens, which is a little down south, so we went swimming in a lake a bunch, went paddleboarding, all that, which was like the first time I've really done that in quite a while. So that was awesome as well, and just hanging out with my friends.
I love it.
There's not like a lot to do, but we got like a movie theater 10 minutes away. We got a bowling alley 10 minutes away, so we'll go take advantage of that.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite Lego set that you built?
Dude, I got the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, nice.
2 years ago. I didn't tell my parents because like it was running a little bit of money. I was like, I don't know if I should tell them. So I bought it and kind of built it under the table a little bit. But yeah, that's got to be my favorite.
It's awesome. Last question I got for you before we kind of roll into some rapid fires. I guess for you, what are your expectations for 2025, right? You're going into your final high school season. What are you looking to build on development-wise and kind of improving on your game?
Yeah, so this offseason, getting stronger, obviously, and then getting more mobile and getting more athletic and getting a little faster. Like I made some strides this summer of getting a little bit more athletic, and I was able to play a little bit of shortstop, and I'm starting to like run a little bit better, but continuing to get better at those things. I'm also doing like some hot yoga and Pilates, so
nice.
Go in there with my high school coach because he's got the hookup, but do those things, get better with the glove because I want to try and make a statement that I want to stick at shortstop for as long as I can. And then, just keep swinging it, make some little adjustments when I need to. I'll probably go over some video with Shenton when he gets home of the summer and see like what little tweaks we can make to maybe simplify some things. But yeah, and then high school season, just have a good time. It's the last time you're playing with your buddies. So last year we came up short in the state championship. So we'll try and win it this year.
Yeah, I got to go get that championship.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler, do you have any other questions before we head into rapid fire?
I don't have a question, but I got to say, yoga, highly underrated. Highly underrated, dude.
We do the power yoga. So it's like push-ups, sit-ups, planks, all that too. So it's like it gets me going. It's pretty hard.
Yeah. I do a little run club here in Raleigh, and then we'll do yoga after. It's one of the greatest feelings, personally. I thought it would kill me because I'm stiffer than a whiteboard, but it's definitely helped a lot more than I thought it would.
No, yeah, I've been on it for a little bit now. I've gone to like 10 power hot yoga classes, and then I'm on like my 4th Pilates class. So I'm starting to get into the grind a little bit.
But there we go. That's what I like to hear right there.
Oh yeah.
Because we're on the clock, we're going to throw some of this quick rapid fire, a little bit more fun questions at you here. First one's, what's a go-to food spot in Mount Vernon?
District Brewing. It's like not even 5 minutes away from me. It's got pizza, wings, Caesar salad. It's right on the river too, so it's awesome. Super good.
Love it. Favorite home run you've hit so far?
Probably the one at USA, just because like the hype around it, is kind of posted everywhere, but it's pretty cool.
I love it. Build your Mount Rushmore shortstops. So if you had to pick 4 guys that you go to, you want to watch film, you kind of look up to them, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll go current. So Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr. Let's see, Anthony Volpe. Could watch a little bit of his film as well. And I guess you could say Ellie De La Cruz. So
love it.
Those guys, yeah.
Awesome. And last one, if your high school's got walk-up songs, what's going to be the walk-up song for 2025?
That's a tough question.
It's still early.
Yeah, I've been messing around with some. Actually, I got a playlist on my phone about like just walk-up songs, but I've been messing with the Sweet Escape. Same walk-up song as Gunnar Henderson. So that's
a good one. I love that.
Gets the fans going a little bit.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, man, Xavier, we can't thank you for taking the time to join us on the Clock. We'll be watching your career for the rest of this year and so on. So I wish you nothing but the best and all the luck.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. A true honor. Really. Thank you.
Of course.